Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So I'm going to try my best to not make this video too long. So in this activity we need to make 3 tables. And just like in an exam, they would actually specify without giving instructions like they did in 21.9. So over here we just had to copy the code and we can see how the different tables look like. So I want you to first try to make these tables using this on your own before watching the video. But yeah, you guys can just follow me if you did struggle to do that. So you can just pause the video if you want to try it on your own first. I gave this today so that you guys can try it out. And yeah, let's start. So table 1, this table is to have a width of 50% of the screen, a table border of 1, cell spacing of 5, and cell padding of 20. The table is to appear like this. Okay, so let's open Notepad and let's start. So we are going to create a table. So we start with the first tag and the last tag, the start tag and the end tag, my bad. And just put that in there. I still prefer using start and end tags and then putting everything in between there. So I know I have seen some people in class who first type in every start tag and at the end they put in the end tags. Only problem I have with this is you increase your risk of making an error or you forget to put your end tags in there. For now, these are small activities, but when you have to make a complete HTML file, it's gonna mess it up. So start with the start and end tag. And let's see, so the table is to have a width of 50%. So inside of our table, we say width equals 50%. Okay, so we have the width there. The table border, so we just say border, and that equals to, they said 1. Let's see what else they want. Cell spacing. So you'll see here that I'm putting in the words that they gave us in here, but we should remember that it's not the table border, it's just the border. Cell spacing is cell spacing, and then cell padding is just going to be cell padding. So just remember how you write this, so you can refer back to the previous activities if you forgot this. So cell spacing should be, what did they say, 5. The cell padding should equal to 20. Okay, so let's save this, save as. I'm going to put this in my web page. I'm going to call this activity, let's just call it act 21.10, and we say 21.10 table 1.htm. You can put in L as well, and we just say save, and we go to that folder, students, ICT, web design, tables, uploads. Oh my, I have put this in a weird place. Where did I put this? Documents. I can't remember where I put it now. Okay, so if this happens to you, this happens to me sometimes if I don't focus where I'm saving it. This is gonna say where I saved this. I'm gonna say save as, and it takes me over here. So now I just go back and to see where I just saved that. So we're gonna go into the URL. So it's this PC, downloads, web page, and activity 21.10. Okay, so that's what I did. So I need to go to my downloads. So it's this PC, downloads, and then web page, and then there. Okay, so now I know where that is. So I go to my downloads, I go to web page, there we go. So I just keep this in the video, just I know it happens to people. We don't need to see all of my open tabs. So right now I have the table in here. You can see that it has some padding and it's some, well, we can't see the spacing right now, but it is 50% of the screen, so that is halfway, and we are doing exactly what they told us. Okay, so we have the table with this, and now they say it should appear like this. So it has one row and it has another row. So we have two rows. So let's start with the start and end tags. So it's table row, and we have two table rows. So you can keep it like that, but since we're going to put in more than one entry in there, just split them up like that. And now we're going to say what should go in the first row. So we can see that there is going to be a cell 1. Okay, so in the table row there is a table data. So table data, start and end tag, table data, and the first one says cell 1. Okay, let's just start with that. Just put in the two table datas and table 2. So these are going to be next to each other. If it confuses you when we put in these splits and these tabs in here, if that confuses you, you don't have to. You can see that you can actually put everything underneath each other. This just makes it easier to mark, and it also just makes it easier for anybody else to read your code. So the other thing that I wanted to say, if it confuses you that why am I putting these beneath each other but in the table they're next to each other, there's no damage if you put these next to each other. So now you can see there's going to be cell 1 and cell 2. So I'm going to press Control S on my keyboard, or you can press save, and I just go to my web page over here, I refresh, and now you can see I have a cell 1 and a cell 2, but we have another table row. So I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to copy this line. I'm going to paste it in there. You saw that I started there, dragged down, and selected it there. I didn't just select it there and pasted it over there. So just see how I do that. And this one should say 3, 4, and oh, it's actually cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, and it seems like we have a cell 5 as well. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to make that 5. So you don't have to retype everything. So let's see if this works. Control S to save, and then we go here, refresh, and now you can see cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, cell 5. So these are our table data. But you can see that cell 1 and cell 3 are in line. Cell 1 and cell 3 are in line. But our width of cell 1 is actually taking up the rest of, cell 2 is taking up the rest of the table over here. So now we need to try and figure out how are we going to do this. And all we say is we want the column span. So we want this entire cell 2 to span 2 columns long. So column span, you just make 2, because 1, 2. Press save, refresh, and there we have it. So now we have the exact same one. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, cell 5. And now it's exactly the same as their example over there. So this is our evidence file. So for table 1, we just print our code. So just zoom nice and big as far as you can, print screen, crop, and we put that in there. There we go. Okay, so we have this, and then we just show the proof of how our final product looks like. So we just have to crop the bottom and the top, of the bottom and the right, just so that we show that we have opened this in our browser. Okay, so that was table 1. So let's do table 2. So table 2, this table is to have a width of 800 pixels, a table border of 1, cell spacing of 5, cell padding of 20, and cell 2 is to span 2 rows. So instead of saying column span, we're going to say row span. So let's change the code. Let's make this smaller, unless it makes it easier for you guys to read. You can tell me if it's disorientating the way I do it. So let's go to the width of 800 pixels. So let's put in 800. Let's see if that's going to work. Okay, there we have 800 pixels of table. And where are we now? Oh, here. And a table border of 1, so we have a table border of 1, cell spacing of 5, we already have this, cell padding of 20. Okay, so we have everything there. They just say now cell 2 is to span 2 rows. So we put in a column span of 2, so let's put in a row span of 2, and let's see, I save, refresh, and now this is not working. Let's figure it out. Okay, after seconds of contemplating, I just realized that we have 1 row, 2 row, but we also have a third row now. So the reason why that didn't work is because this is part of the second row. So if we put this into the third row, then this should work. So this is row 1, this is row 2. So let's make row 3. Oops. So we can just put a space in there. Okay, so this one should say 4 and 5, and we don't need that anymore, because in the third row we just want 4 and 5, so it should take up all that space over there. And I just want to make sure if it's going to be half-half. Yes, okay, so these two are going to take half-half, and they should distribute on themselves, but we can also put in width 50%, width 50%, but it should do it on its own. And we can take this out. So this is the start tag of cell 4, and that's the start and end tag of cell 5. So we could just take these two out. So now in the third row we only have cell 3. So you can see now, if I refresh this, I have cell 1, cell 3 is on its own there, but we told cell 2 please go and use 2 rows, and then cell 4 and cell 5 are on their own in the third row. So again, I'm trying this new thing where when I do make a mistake, when I only figure these things out when I do the videos. So just so that you guys know that I am still in the process of making all the content, and I still make mistakes sometimes, but I just hope it's fine. You guys can tell me if you prefer me not sharing my mistakes with you. I just know sometimes the mistakes that I made in videos you guys also do and then ask me afterwards, so maybe it's good that I share my mistakes that I also make. But luckily we know how to fix them. So we just show our proof. Okay, there we go. So that's table 2, and it looks exactly like the one that they want us to have. And let's try table 3. You're more than welcome to, after you've done a table with me, to pause the video and just try it on your own. I know we've already done 2 of them, but just so you know, you can also do that. And so table 3. So this table is to have a width of 500 pixels. And don't be afraid to change things and see what happens if you change them. It's the best way to learn is by playing. Table border of 1, cell 1, oh, that's all they say. So this table is to have 500 pixels and table border of 1. So all these other things, they didn't say we have to add in, so we can just take that out. The table is to appear like this. So we have cell 1, cell 2, 3, and 4. So there's no need for a cell 5 anymore, so we can immediately take that out. And we have 1, 2, 3 rows. So we have 1, 2, 3 rows, which is fine. In the first row we would have cell 2 and cell 1. So for now we can take this out so that we just have the 2 cells. So just if you're unsure of what we just did, so I'm just gonna update our thing. So we have cell 1, cell 2, and then 3 and 4. Okay, that's exactly how we want this to be done. but it seems like cell 1 is taking up 1, 2, 3 cells. So let's change the cell 1. So in here, now we're going to say it should take 3 rows. Okay, so I just had to think about that. 3 rows, because this is 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. It doesn't take up the columns, it takes up the rows. If you guessed that wrong, it wouldn't be wrong if you just first try column span and see what happens if you type in 3. It will take up all of this. So let's see what happens. So it won't work because there's not 3 columns. So let's say row span, and it should take up 3 rows. And there we got it. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4. Print screen. Wait, that was the wrong. First the code. Okay, put in the code. Print screen. Put it there. Crop it nice so that everything's nice and clear. Perfect. And then we just take a screenshot of the web page, paste it in there, crop it. And with the screenshot of the web page, you only have to do the bottom and the right. There we go. So now you have everything you need for table 1, 2, and 3. And I hope this helped. If it annoyed you that I added in my failures, please let me know. If the majority of you don't like this, then I totally understand and I'll change the videos. But for now, I have intentional thinking about it. I'm a bit tired, so I'm making more mistakes at the end of a school day. So yeah, you guys can let me know. And I hope this video helps. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye.